These are devotions for people at a social distance. In the last few days of my devotions, I've been reading in the book of Esther, and today my reading took me to Esther chapter 8. And just to refresh us on the plot of Esther, basically there's this really, really bad guy named Haman who comes up with a plan to exterminate the Jews, tricks the king, who of course doesn't know that he's married to a Jew and really apparently doesn't know what his advisors are doing or what their plans are, tricks the king into making an edict basically condemning all the Jews to death. Now, Esther, with her heroism and everything, exposes Haman. The king is mad, kills Haman, hangs him up on the gallows, and yet there is a problem. And in chapter 8, after Haman has been executed, the problem still exists. Esther comes before the king and begs again for her life, because guess what? Even though this decree has been made under false pretenses, the king said it, so it can't be taken back. Basically, to take back the decree would be to question the legitimacy of the very foundations of the institution of the monarchy of the empire, and we can't do that, right? So the king can't have done the wrong thing, even though everybody understands that he's done the wrong thing. And so of course, in the book of Esther, a complicated plot has to be put into place to allow the Jews to defend themselves and kill all their enemies, which in itself is a problematic thing. I don't know. I just thought it was a timely passage in the book of Esther because it does actually speak to where we are right now. Again, as I said yesterday in my devotions, it was great to hear the Pope stand up and make an apology for the residential school system. But I also noted there was not really an acknowledgement that the institution itself was at fault. And part of that, of course, is because it is a question of doctrine. There was a pope that, in the past put forward in a papal bull, which is an official document, this doctrine of discovery that basically, as colonists went out into the world and they discovered uninhabited land, which is to say land that did not belong to Christians, it was theirs. And that doctrine, the doctrine of discovery, really lies behind so much of what has gone wrong in settler indigenous relations in Canada and all over the world. And in a sense, people would very much like the Pope to withdraw, to denounce that doctrine. But guess what? That calls into question the very institution of the church itself. If the church has made a mistake in that doctrine, well, that calls into question. And it's just so wrong in so many ways. Just because we call something the church, just because it is an institution that is created in response to everything that Jesus was and did, cannot fail to make mistakes. Institutions are still human institutions that are powered by human beings. We make mistakes. We get our doctrines wrong, and let's just face up to the truth and admit it. Our doctrines have been wrong, have caused harms, and to be afraid to even look at that possibility is a sign of the profound weakness of our institutions. And I don't want weak institutions. That's the problem. Lord our God, open our eyes to see the harm that we have done, to make it right. Amen.